After our recent growth, I've decided to take advantage on this period called the Pax Imperium, or Imperial Peace. By relaxing and going around the Empire, I boarded the luxury ship called the Thunderbolt, which I headed towards the planet Trantor, one of the many planets of the Empire, which is comparable to our Empire, which has about 100 billion Daleks in it. The population of the planet Trantor has about 40 billion, which is comparable to Zero Zen's 100 billion. Trantor also had great technology centers which were used for researching warp devices on the planet. I also got on the ship and the last Dalek announcement played.
All Daleks, step away from the main entrance. We are taking off.
The engines were roaring outside, and we felt as the ship was going up and we left the planet. Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake began playing on the speakers. A pleasing atmosphere, but I wasn't here for partying. Instead, I'm here to discuss with one of Skaru's politicians, Unit ZT-199-01451. Unfortunately, on Skaru, every Dalek has a serial number and not a name. We were scheduled to meet into my cabin at the second floor after the dinner from tonight. So meanwhile, I explored the ship, where there were many beautiful cabins and centers. The restaurant floor was indeed wonderful, with painting made from the civilizations we conquered. Though many Daleks may disagree, I believe in the philosophy that all races are equal, but some are more equal than others. By this means, I mean that all races outside of a Dalek race are equal, but the Dalek race is more equal than others. I do not believe that we should enslave other races. Instead, I believe that our race should work from its own success, and other races within the Empire should pay taxes, and race should work together from its own success. And that other races within that empire should pay taxes and work harder, even harder than Daleks. Plus, these other races have genius minds which we can use to our advantage. After my adventuring throughout the ship, I met with the unit and greeted him personally. Hold on, pausing story. Psychic, what did you mean when you said all races outside of a Dalek empire are equal, but the Dalek race is more equal than others? What is the meaning of this treachery and respect to the inferior life forms that are trying to destroy us? What is the meaning of this negative? Remember what I said about not letting me turn my fleet against you? Greetings, unit!
The pleasure is all mine, Psychic Controller. Why have you called me here?
My friend, the Empire on Skaro is not what it used to be. Its economy is in the crash, and it has collapsed a lot of times in Dalek history. It is clearly not a sustainable state due to its supremacy policies and intolerance of other races. As you see, we haven't killed any race which we haven't conquered. Instead, we have integrated them and gave them a Dalek factor, making them loyal citizens of the Empire. And to be serious, the Empire on Skaro is held together by only the Emperor. If he dies right now, I don't expect the Dalek Empire to last more than a year. This economy is in shambles, and after the leaving of the last Emperor and the Stark Restoration, he was able to stabilize and ensure the economy would grow more strongly. The market is getting filled with a lot of cheap products, which does plague them since a shortage of minerals has happened in Skaro last year. This impacted their stock market, leading to the panic of Skaro. That's why, my friend, I want you to be a minister into my empire.
Oh, that's quite generous of you. Well, I have 2 degrees in economics, so I could be a minister of economics.
Oh, yes. And that is your position from now on. I was interrupted by an announcer.
All passengers, please come to the restaurant floor immediately!
So we went there and placed ourselves at the designated area at the large table. The captain entered and began speaking. Gentlemen, we will not perform a procedure which is called a jump. Now, half of you may not know about this. Half of you may or may not know about this, so I'm going to explain this to you all. In the space-time continuum, it is impossible to travel faster than the speed of light. Even with the speed of light, it would take years to reach the stars. Therefore, we shall leave the space-time continuum to enter the realm of hyperspace, where time and distance lose their significance. Indeed, it requires a lot of energy and sophisticated calculations, so we may travel at intense distances at no time.